All right, well, here I am with Emily, and what I want to just say is there are so much staff around the CHDS that make things happen. Velvet is one of those people. You can see Jim and James and Will. Emily is that person that makes our website look fantastic. Of course, Jody Stiles, who's over there, is our Chief Information Officer, and she makes everything, she's the backbone of the center, hands down. She makes everything work. And she's also responsible for it, so we try not to screw up too much. So this morning, I do want to share with you, we always try to be on the cutting edge of what we can do to help you guys look better, right? It only helps our country to have exceedingly brilliant people out in front. So we tell your stories. We ask you to do committee work. We ask you to speak at conferences. We ask you to do lots of things. But it's a win-win. It helps our sponsor, thank you Charlotte Porter, who's over there, at FEMA, understand that investing in education and long-term knowledge is something that helps our country in immeasurable ways. So, I'm quoting David O'Keefe that best idea wins. For many years, we have tried to figure out a way to showcase you guys in an elegant and sophisticated way. And this is a dream for many years that I personally have had, but many people have contributed to. Angie English, one of our alums, came up with a whole social network for us. So there's lots of ideas, but this is what percolated to the top. It is called ProPages. So what if we had a way to have each alum, staff, and faculty member, and SME showcase the highlight reel of their career in one place? For the sponsors, NPS and FEMA, how could we show the type of alums that are out there, and what difference does it make for them to be in education? And also the cutting edge and tip of the spear, practically and tactically in their jobs. This is the intersection of where the pracademic lives, right? So how can we do that in a way that is, again, something people would want to look at, and then another, how can it be useful for people to collaborate? We always talk about collaboration in government and private sector. We always talk about collaboration. This is the place where you're going to find that you can put yourself out there in a way that people can understand your talent, your experience, and what you can actually contribute to the Homeland Security community. For me, this is kind of it's the apex of education. It's the highest form of what we do. I know I'm hyping it, but I truly believe this. So this is Taylor. Where's Taylor? Early adopter Taylor is late. Spent so much time on this page that he's late. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just make him feel bad and go over this. So obviously, a really professional headshot. That's what we require. There are requirements for each pro page. Everyone here is invited. This is an opt-in situation. I'm going to do some caveats for the government. This page can be taken down at any time. We can take anything down at any time for any reason. It doesn't constitute endorsement by government, any government whatsoever. This is the page. So you have that big picture in the background, and we can help you with this. This is why Emily's here. But then you have your specialties and interests. So say you want to be an influencer, a speaker, a writer, or maybe you have interest in technology or critical infrastructure protection or intelligence. We're coming up with icons as you guys submit them. So if you don't see an icon in there, we'll probably come up with something. But basically, you're talking about you. This is all about you. And so the process is, well, why don't we scroll down a little bit? So we have your CHDS affiliation, like which program you went to, and then a quote. It could be a quote that you came up with, or something somebody says about you, or something that you find inspirational, philosophical, something that describes your personality or your experience or profession. something like that. And then a short bio, doesn't have to be expansive. We purposely did not include a social network aspect to this because we just wanted it to be a flat, simple page. Although, I forgot this part, Emily, if you scroll up, you can be contacted and linked into, or Facebooked, or Twittered, whatever you want.
People can email you directly from here or go straight to your LinkedIn page.
Exactly. All right, so we'll just finish up as we scroll down. So this is where your highlight reel is. This is where you can post a video of you speaking, anything that, project, paper, writings, anything. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be 1 or 2 items. It can be 1 item, or just not 20,000, okay? So if you scroll down even more, you find, well, he didn't do the master's, but you'll find your thesis if you're a master's grad. So anything that you find is the culmination of your career, that's what we want. And there's Carol. Here, go on Carol real quick.
Carol's here.
Carol's here. Carol got up on time. So if we scroll down, we can see that she's been with us for a while and she's done a few things, right? And just different ways of showcasing your career and your experience. And everybody's different. And then when everybody does this, because I will guilt you into it, we will have this beautiful place for people to come and contact you, ask you to do things for the good of the community. If you're a private sector person, I'm just going to put this caveat out. We're not trying to sell your stuff. We aren't going to do that. We are going to just showcase your knowledge and experience, right? So can you go on Ari Baranoff real quick? Ari has a huge career in Secret Service. He has a lot of talents aside from what he's doing now, which is consulting. So we go over these with you after you submit your package, and we make it beautiful. But it showcases him, not so much the business. So I just want to be clear on that point. But, I mean, you get a mention because that's actually what he does, okay? So if people are curious, they can go find out for themselves. Again, this is about what you did here at CHDS and how you can help the Homeland Security community. All right, so Emily's going to take over and show us how we're going to do that.
So when Heather hits you up for this, and she will, you are going to come to the link that she provides you, and you can just come straight to the home page. And our drop-down menu on the left, there's an option to request a ProPage. And it's really simple. It walks you through every single section. You'll go through the specialty and interests first. They'll ask you which background you want. We have several for you to choose from. And like Heather said, you can choose your own specialties and interests. We will try to match you up with an icon that we've made. If you have something that's not on the list, feel free. For example, when Rodrigo submitted his, he added geopolitics, and we didn't have that yet. So Eric made an icon for geopolitics, and now we have that in the section. So if you don't see what you need, feel free to write that in. And then like Heather said, just a very short bio, really quick, to the point, the highlights, the really important stuff in your career. We can definitely figure out your affiliation, but it helps to have that as well. And then we'll list what you've done here. If you have a master's thesis, this is where we'll include that as well. I'll put a link to it if it's not restricted. Your quote, something that someone has said about you or something that you kind of live your own personal life by. And then your highlights, again, it could be anything like Ari's is his website. Obviously, when we did Carol's, there was many, many, many accomplishments to list. Taylor did mainly photos. We have a lot of people who put their alumni short talks and Apex presentations and stuff up there, so that's another spot that we can do something like that. And then what we'll try to do is get you into these buckets, these nice little groups, and you'll be in there with all of your other emergency professionals and education professionals and all sorts of stuff. And if you have any questions at any point during the process, I'm the person that you'll talk to. We'll approve it with Heather, and then we'll get it published for you. You could share it wherever you want.
Hey, if you're going to be out there, and this is what I say in the personal branding seminar, if you're going to be out there online, you should control your narrative. You should have a way to showcase the very best. And, you know, in your job, it can just take one bad day to not have a good article, you know, and a good public image. This is where people can go and see your gravitas. And that's really the goal, is to understand that. A lot of people ask our staff, Glenn, to speak or to teach, but if you have a video here that showcases your teaching, maybe you're at an association meeting with Don Wilson, who does our executive education programs, and you're speaking, you can have that video up here, and people can say, oh, Vince Sharp is an amazing speaker. I want to get him for my association meeting. He has a great content. So those are the kinds of things that kind of elevate the entire Homeland Security community when you have experts like yourselves out there and you're presented in a way that is extremely professional, and that's our goal. Any other questions? By show of hands, just because this is the culmination, this is the launch, I want to know if this is something that you guys would use. Okay, then. I'm going to come after the rest of you.
Also, we have a table out by the HSDL table where we have all this set up, and I can walk through it with you or answer any questions as well. And you can kind of look through our first adopters, our first pros that we've already made pages for.